Hey there, my friend. Welcome to the Leadership Table. I'm so excited that today I have my amazing and beautiful wife, Danielle Reyes, who's going to be interviewing one of our dear friends, Patrick Francis, on the power of a leadership table and what leadership tables can look like in your community. So you want to listen into the conversation. You want to really hear it. And I'm going to tell you that what's going to happen is you're going to say, wow, I want a leadership table in my community. I want a leadership table in my organization. I want a leadership table in my child's school. So I just want to encourage you to listen in because you're going to hear two amazing people having a conversation about adding value to people. My friend, let's jump on into that conversation.
Welcome to the Leadership Table podcast. I'm here with my friend, Patrick Francis.
Happy to be here.
And I'm so glad that he's with us. You know that we've been talking about the leadership table, right? And the power of a leadership table.
Yeah.
So what is your, what do you feel? I know you have a heart for the table.
I'm excited to be at the leadership table and just being around Lions Pride. That was my first big experience about what the leadership table is, and one of the benefits I believe that I gained from being around the leadership table is that you benefit from the ideas, the mind of other great leaders. And I think the impact is so much greater just being around the table with other like-minded leaders who are at your level and above your level. And I think what you leave with it's so impactful for me personally. And so whenever I come to Lions Pride Monthly Leadership and I leave here, it's always such a big impact where I can share with others.
Yeah, I love that, Patrick. So and you've heard us say it before, right? But our mentor and friend, and when I say ours, Chad and my husband, he always says, and I grabbed this and I loved it. He said, to always put yourself around people that are bigger, better, faster, smarter.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's what the tables do, right? It brings people around, at least in an area that we may not be bigger, better, faster, smarter in.
Yeah, and it kind of lets you know where you are as a leader. Just being around other great leaders, I think the first effect is it lets you know where you are, and secondly, where you can get to if you allow these people around the table to speak into your life as well. And I think the value add is so great. Just being around the table with other great leaders. So for me, just being around bigger, faster leaders who are ahead of you, it makes you want to be more, do more, and have a greater, level of impact in the people that you now are going to encounter down the road.
Yeah, thank you. That's so good. How would you say people get around the leadership table? Is it around a certain concept? Is it, how do you get people gathered, or how do you even join a leadership table?
Well, first, it's a funny story how I end up around this leadership table, and I want to thank you and Chad for seeing something in me that I could be around the leadership table. But one of the things that I've seen that work organically and being around, just taking what you have taught me and Chad have taught me as a mentor and building other leadership tables, even in my homeland, where I'm from, Jamaica, is that you really look for people who has an appetite for learning and really want to grow, because you really want, one of the things that Chad has taught me is that you want there to be a return on your investment, right, of time, right? So I really look for people who I believe could give me a great return on investment on the time spent with them, and not giving back to me, but giving to others what I give to them. So that's really what I really look for: an appetite for learning. That's one. Someone who's going to take action. Two, and you really see the value of the time that we spend together.
Yeah, love it. So I'm in the middle. Actually, Chad and I will be bringing our team in. We're reading a book called Mind Shift, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things, and you just said it, right? There are some people that have a fixed mindset.
Yeah.
Fixed, right?
Yeah.
And a fixed mindset actually puts blame onto others, and they're just stuck in this trap, right? And then there's growth minded. And then the growth minded are always looking at saying like, okay, well, this was challenging, this was hard, but how do I overcome it, right? They're always wanting to learn and grow.
Yeah.
So where do you find growth minded? Especially, I want to know from your country too.
Yeah.
Right.
First, I played sport, right? And I remember you talk about fix and growth, right? I remember the first time I really had a big failure. We lost in a final, right? And I remember our coach coming into the locker room after we were finished and like, guys, you didn't lose, you grow. You're right, you grow, and next year we're gonna come back next year and we're gonna be better. So a fixed mindset for me is like just being fixated on what happened. And I believe that when I think about like a growth mindset is what can happen if I begin to learn the lessons from how I fail, where I failed. So looking for growth-minded people, it's like it's not looking for that perfect person, right? It's hard. There's none of us that's perfect, but I look for someone that's a really just willing to learn, grow. You're willing to read. You show up on time. When you say you're going to show up, because then your integrity becomes into question, right? So when I'm looking for growth-minded people, I really look at like the actionable steps that we said we're going to take, and how well you remain true to them over time. Like I know, like you and Chad, and just being around you, that's time is a big factor, right? So. I try to show up ahead of time, almost on time, most time, because,
I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you holding that standard, because it does makes me better. It does makes me better as a leader. And, a growth-minded person is also someone who is willing to take constructive critique, right? Yeah. And
Honestly,
learn from it.
I love critique.
Yeah.
I really do. I've shared with people where I was like, please give me, like, I'd be like, okay, how'd I do? And I'm always like, okay, well, tell me first, what I could improve on, what I did wrong. Like, I love to hear that, because, they get, when somebody's like, oh, you do, you're always doing great, you're always doing good. That's actually a fixed mindset, is very much where they need that affirmation consistently. And when they don't get it, they just crumble. And then the growth mindset is like, okay, wait, what are the areas I could build in?
Of course. And I always believe, like, there is in all of us, like, in the book Awaken Your Potential, right? There's always that next level to get to. And, potential is it's unlimited, right?
Right.
So I think that when you have a fixed mindset, you limit your potential to what you could become. So I'm really excited when I get around growth-minded people. For me personally, I really love to be around growth-minded individual. And just going back to the story earlier with my team, I said we lost, but we grew after that, and we became a better team. And the next year, we had a better result. So it's not so much like we're focused on the results, right? But how are we becoming better every day?
Right. But you had somebody great in your life to speak into your life.
Yeah.
Right. Some people don't have that, and some people do.
Yeah.
So I just encourage anybody that's listening to think of that one person that just speaks into your life, and is always encouraging you, and even thank them. Because honestly, because you've mentioned that story to me quite a few times, that I love it, because it's impacted you, and that's why you're sitting here today.
It does, because I think all of us need a coach, right? Or a mentor. And I was excited when you guys took me on as a mentor, because I believe mentorship helped you to break that fixed mindset lid as well, right? Because you can have a fixed mindset and don't even know it.
Right.
But when you get around growth-minded people who are bigger, better, faster than you, it really, all of a sudden, you begin to see a model of what you can become. And it really initiates an action that makes you want to become better.
Right. I agree. You said something earlier about Awaken Your Potential, the book, right? And talking about, you said, for the people that I want around the table, the ones that I'm looking at their actions,
Yeah.
right? Not just what
Yeah.
they're saying.
Right.
So it reminds me of the first chapter
Yeah.
in the book, right? What is it? Good intentions versus being intentionally good.
Right. And that a great story in that book was like, I think it's, I don't know if I say it, I don't even know if I say it right, but I'm going to say it in a way. It's like 5 birds in a log, and four
5 frogs.
yeah, 5 frogs, and but it's not just it's not just having good intentions, right? Because every one of us have good intentions.
Mhm.
Like, especially with the it's a brand new year. We're now in 2025, right? And a lot of people came out with good intentions, right?
Mhm.
But it's the intentionally good ones that come December 31st,
Mhm.
who will be celebrating, right? And then the one who just had good intention, you got to have them like in regrets, right? So I think that's such a it creates a separation. Good intention, intentionally good is a difference, or the difference maker between, will you be celebrating or will you be regretting some of the goals you set out to achieve?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's honestly perfect. Perfect description. I want to ask you, what are some of? So you mentioned the story of the frogs, the 5 frogs on a log.
That's good.
So the story goes, right, that there's 5 frogs on a log,
Yeah.
and they decide to jump off.
Yeah.
Right. How many actually jump off?
Yeah. I mean, I think the answer is that if you just decide to jump off and you never jump, you're in the good intentions category
Right.
still. So
Yeah.
so I think it's more like, when we make a decision, I think what makes it intentionally good is the subsequent action that we take
Right.
to move in the direction of what we believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Love it. And then I had a specific question for you.
This is going to be fun now. Come on, a specific question.
Specific question for you. What legacy could you build by giving more than you take? And how could a leadership table inspire and support that?
Oh man, I think that what legacy? I mean, the life you live, right? Just kind of define it a little bit. That the life we live will determine the legacy we leave. I don't remember where I heard it, but I know I didn't butcher it now.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good.
Yeah. The life we live will determine the legacy we leave, right? So I think all of us live to leave a legacy, right? Or all of us are living to leave a legacy.
Mhm.
It's the question is, what will that legacy be, right? So for me, I want my legacy to be how I impact others.
Mhm.
I want my legacy to be live on in others, even when I'm gone.
Mhm.
So what I'm intentional about doing is really using my life more like an equipping factory to really help others. Look at where others are. How can I help them? And if I can't help them, where can I find the help to help them?
Can you share about your country, right?
Yeah.
Because I know you've done incredible things there.
Yeah, I mean,
you're an inspiration.
Oh no, thank you. And one of the things that we have done, and I've done, is really we create. I create like a monthly Zoom, right,
Mhm.
where I just gather a bunch of professionals from the country. That's where I was born. That's where I was educated. That's where I learned.
Share where that is.
Yeah, I grew up in Jamaica, and I'm Jamaican born. I know you figured it out by now, anyways. I'm Jamaican born. I grew up there. I was schooled there. My parents were really big, and just you had kind of two outlets,
Mhm.
sports and education.
Mhm.
So my parents was, I was naturally gifted in sport, and my parents was making sure that I got a good education, right? So what I do now, being away from the country, right?
Mhm.
I look for ways how I can impact the culture
Love that.
by serving, by adding value to them, and we have had great success rate. Natalie and I, my wife, we have done missions in Jamaica. We have gone there. We have done workshops with people there, and our goal is really to impact the next generation of young leaders, young entrepreneurs growing up in our country, and I'm truly excited to see the legacy that it's going to leave.
Yeah, we have the same passion, the same heart for
Yes,
that
yes,
next gen.
yes.
Can you share? I'd love to hear just some of the success stories that have come from that?
Some of the success stories that has come from it. Let me just share the mission aspect of it, and just me pouring into someone there helps them to be better. So whoever they are impacting naturally hopefully becomes better as well. And some of the success story is, I remember a young lady. She's a teacher, young teacher, Shamika Russell, and just spending time with her, and especially the last 6 weeks. The last 6 weeks of the year, I had a chance to do a global leadership table, and she was around the table, and at the end of it, Chad did the last session for us, and we were so great. We're so grateful that left a big legacy there. And I remember her saying that, man, this was so impactful. It moved me from a place of fear to a place of confidence, and to hear someone, for you to have that level of impact in someone's life where you are moving the needle in their lives, I think there's no greater reward and return on your investment. Yeah, so that was a big one for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. And now where are you going from here?
What's in
the horizon? I may have a little glimpse, but
I really would love to see us the overall legacy. How can I play a part? I can't play the whole part, but how can I play a little part in impacting the next generation through a leadership table, getting them around a leadership table in schools. And in Jamaica, we don't have elementary. We have the primary schools. We have the high school. We have the colleges. So my goal is really to see us in every school, every college, to see us in an organization that's impacting the next generation. And a big goal is, how can we get the big influencers in the country around the table, where we can have collective discussion that really help to shape the future for the next generation.
It's exciting. Yeah. I know you're going to do it.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it too.
Now I know there's some things that we've been talking about, getting tables, the tables that we've been around, right, into our community.
Yeah.
Now, here and in your country. So what does that look like? Where do you see us going here? I know it's going to be around the Awaken Your Potential book.
Yeah.
Right? We have a growth plan, a booklet. It's called Beyond the Book. Some questions for them to dive into and reflect. What would you say that?
I believe the impact. I believe the impact is going to be great, and just the value that's going to be around each table. And the impact and the legacy that the mark it's going to leave on those around the table. I really see across the country and across the globe us raising up a generation of leaders where leadership is a paramount trait. It's something that they want to learn, they can learn, and they believe that they will benefit from. So I believe that going into the schools,
right,
the colleges, churches. Yeah. I believe that businesses, absolutely, and impacting that level of people, it's going to leave like a massive, it's going to create a ripple effect, I believe, not just in our country, in our community, but across the globe.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for you joining on the Leadership Table podcast.
I'm excited.
And we also thank you guys for watching, and we are excited to get you around a leadership table, bring it to your organization. Do we have a website?
Yes, we gotta be having a website, and stay tuned, and to you can go to chadrace.com, and you will be able to see where you can connect with a leadership table.
Yes, it'll be chadrace.com /the leadership table, and you'll be able to find some resources there.
You got
pick up a book when you can, because
it's a great book, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Wow, what a powerful Leadership Table podcast. We heard from Patrick and Danielle just sharing about the power of a leadership table. Hey, listen, in the comments below, drop a comment. What was your biggest takeaway? Drop a comment of where you would like to take a leadership table and where you'd like to bring it in your community, your city, your nation. It is powerful. And by the way, share and subscribe. Share the message with those that you know that needs to hear it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hey, thank you for being on the journey with us. You are listening to the Leadership Table Podcast.